Hashem Naaseh v'Natzliach, shiur Torah. Great to be here, Baruch Hashem, to a very difficult week last week. Some horrible news. Shem Hashem, Am Yisrael continues to suffer. Disasters continue to happen, and it seems like everybody's still sleeping. Bezat Hashem, the shiur will be Ilui Nishmat Aaron. How do you say his last name? Aaron ben Yehuda, that's his father's name. Aaron ben Yehuda. Bezat Hashem, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Rachem Alav, Rachem Aleinu. Have mercy on our souls. Lost a very precious little boy last week. And to be honest with you, I spoke to the father yesterday for 45 minutes. And I still can't even collect my thoughts since then. I don't know what to think. I don't know what not to think. Hashem Erachem, I can't imagine the pain and suffering that the family is going through, losing a precious little kid. The Gemara says that the worst pain a person can experience in this world is a loss of their child during their life. A loss of a child during their life. Even more so when a child is so small, so innocent, so cute. You know, and you ask yourself questions. You ask questions. You know, people look up in Shamayim and they ask questions. They ask, why this, why that? There's a lot of questions that you ask during difficult times. And I have a lot of questions, not to Hashem. I have a lot of questions to you. I have a lot of questions to Am Yisrael. I have a lot of questions to myself. To Hashem, not even a single question. Baruch Hashem. Because I know He does good even when we can't see it. Just like we say in Tachanun, every day you say in Tachanun, in your tefillah. You know, a lot of people say Tachnun like speed reading. After Amidah, you're supposed to say Tachnun, a vidui. Vidui it's called. It's also something that somebody, that Hashem Erachem is on their deathbed, or know that they're about to die, must do this. This is like doing tshuva. When we say Chatanu Avinu Pashanu, that's the sign of vidui. But there's more. And if he says, Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Dofi V'Lashon Hara, Evinu, V'Irshanu, and so on and so forth, all the different types of sins that a person makes, realizing or not realizing. This Gilgul, the previous Gilgul. He did it or he's going to do it. But at the end of the Vidui, it says, ואתה צדיק על כל הבא עלינו כי אמת עשית ואנחנו הרשענו. You Hashem, tzaddik, you're right. Whatever you did, whatever you brought upon us, you acted with emet, truthfully. We're the wicked ones. Meaning it doesn't make a difference what happens in a person's life, whether it's the pain and suffering that I've experienced in my life in the past, or today, or tomorrow, or yesterday, or the pain that anyone in the world has ever experienced, the Holocaust in the past, the Holocaust Shem Erachem in the future. Anything that happens in a person's life, you have to say, it's a mitzvah from the Torah, it's Alacha, Shulchan Aruch, it's Gemara, Masechet Brachot, it's all over Torah, you have to say, Ata Tzadik. Hashem, you tzaddik. You're right. What do you mean? You just chopped off the head. What do you mean? How could it be? He's right. Why? We did it. Whatever you're doing is for our benefit. Even if we don't understand it. Even if it's painful. Even if all the different things that you can possibly emotionally express. In reality, we're supposed to say this every single day. No less than twice a day. Now, they say that from Adam HaRishon forward, the generations have deteriorated. It's a known thing. It's a known thing that the generations have deteriorated. Adam HaRishon was so brilliant that we cannot imagine the brilliance that he had. Just to give you an example, unlike any other language in the world, when they gave names to different things, they gave it to them based on their logic. They gave it to them based on whatever sounded good. Somebody came up with the name telephone because the name telephone sounded good. Somebody came up with the name aspirin because the name aspirin sounded good. All these different drugs that you have in the market today, Hashem and Hashem, seems like more of them are poisonous than they are actual medicines. But anyway, people just come up with names. Sometimes it's because it's connected to the doctor or the scientist that developed it or the team that developed it. Sometimes it has to do with the chemicals that are used. But it's based on human logic. Sometimes it's connected to nothing. Like, for example, the name Google. The name Google. Many years I always wondered, what's Google? What does Google even mean? It just means a really big number. What does that have to do with Google, the website that you search engine, and now you can do a lot more with? The answer, Rabotai, nothing. Has nothing to do with it. There's no like romantic story about, oh, it connects to this, or to the algorithm that we use in the beginning. No, it has nothing to do with anything. It just thought it was a cool name. The founders of Google thought it was a cool name. And that's how mankind operates. We just think of things that sound cool. We plug it on something. Somebody thought that the name like, the button like on Facebook, sounded cool. So they named their child Like, maybe 10 years ago or 8 years ago. It was a press release. Shem Achem was actually a Jew in Israel. They named their new boy Like, after the like button of Facebook. Misken the kid, he has to deal with this for the rest of his life. He has to deal with the fact that his parents are stupid. You can't fix stupid parents. You can't fix it. You didn't pick them, they picked you. Misken. Kaparas avonot, the kid has to deal with the whole life. Imagine having a parent like that. Your parent's so dumb that he actually picked a name Like. Misken, what a misken, kaparas avonot. We're all worried about parnasa and this. This kid has parents, he can't fix them. Why? What are you gonna do? It's like some, it's you don't even know where to start, where to end. It's not even parents. Some parents that named their kids Nimrod. Nimrod is by far the second worst name in the entire Torah. Maybe the first worst name. The worst is Esav. Everybody knows Esav. Nimrod could potentially be worse. Why? He's the first official enemy of Hashem. His name, by definition, means war against Hashem. Marad be'Hashem. You as a Jew named your son a name that says he's going to go be an enemy of God. I mean, and you think, oh, this is a good idea. Even if you're an atheist, why would this be a good idea? And the reality is that many people are not. They're not atheists. They're just clueless. But even that, Rabotai, that's just ignorance. It's ignorance, not stupidity. You can close the door. It's not a bus. Oh, okay. It's not stupidity, just ignorance. Don't know who Nimrod is in the Torah. They asked probably somebody, who's Nimrod in the Torah? Oh yeah, there's somebody named Nimrod in the Torah in the story of Avraham Avinu. Not realizing he's the enemy. It's like, oh, it's in the Torah, must be good. It must be. It's not Paro, it's not Esav. It's the only two names they know on the enemy. So, Nimrod. They named their kid Nimrod. That's just ignorance of the Torah. But naming your kid Like, or some other crazy name that people come up with, that's just outright stupidity. But this is the generation we're living in. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu told Am Yisrael, Parashat Azinu. Am naval velo chacham. Foolish people, not smart. Stupid people, he called us. Called us stupid people, called the nation. Moshe Rabbeinu. Parashat Azinu say you're stupid people. Why? You bite the hand that feeds you. You pray to Hashem to give you parnasah. He gives you parnasah and you go spend it on prostitution. You go spend it on casino. You go spend it on weapons to go kill people. You asked Hashem for parnasah. He gave you the parnasah, you go use it against him. There's no other definition for such a person. There's no other definition. And unfortunately, in the Torah, we have the basic halacha, which is what we try to teach in every shiur for the last 4 years, Baruch Hashem. And then there's chumrah. Chumrah is stringency. Stringency is above and beyond the law. If any of you have heard of Hasidut, people think Hasidut means you have to wear black and white. Or Hasidut is Chabad, or is Breslev, or is somebody else that wears black and white and a big furry hat, or he has a long beard. No, that just means they wear clothes that look like Hasidut, but that doesn't mean what Hasidut. Hasidut means you're doing above and beyond the law. Meaning, if you have to keep Shabbat, let's say for 25 hours, a Hasid keeps it for 26 hours, 27 hours. That's what Hasid does. Doesn't matter if he wears the shtreimel, or he has a long jacket, or he wears black and white, or black and blue. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. A Hasid does above and beyond the law. He does chumrah. Where? On everything that he possibly can. So you're allowed to drink kosher milk. Kosher milk, as long Rav Moshe Feinstein, alav shalom, said, in America, the kosher milk is enough that anybody can rely on it because it's too expensive and too dangerous for anyone to take the risk to go milk a pig or a camel and put it in our milk. Doesn't make any sense. So you can rely on the kosher certification. It doesn't have to be Chalav Yisrael. Doesn't have to be Chalav Yisrael. A Hasid will drink Chalav Yisrael. Why? Even though you don't have to. You can drink as long as it's kosher milk. Ashrecha, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. Want to drink? Do you want to do above the law? Chalav Yisrael. Like sometimes there is, for example, there is something that's a kosher. Good. It's kosher. And then there's like glat, it's mehadrin, meudal. It's above and below, above and beyond. Above and beyond. Even if you got, in most regards, even if you got the basics, you're still fine. It's still kosher. It doesn't make you any less Jewish. It doesn't make you any more Jewish if you do it. It just shows Hashem, you love the mitzvah so much, you want to do even more. This, by the way, Rabotai Yekerim, we learn all of this from Onkelos Ager. Onkelos, the convert, was next in line to be the Roman emperor. And he decided that it's all shtuyot. And the Gemara Masechet Avodah Zarah says that he was going to convert to Judaism, and he converted to Judaism. Now the Caesar didn't like it so much. So he sent people to go bring him. He sent some people there. They knocked on his door. They came into his house. He said, why are you here? They started talking to him. They converted to Judaism. He did Kiruv on the spot. Everybody converted to Judaism. They never went back to the Caesar. Caesar sent some more people. He told them, don't talk to him. Don't let him talk. Don't say nothing. Anyway, they came. Again, same thing. He converted the second round. Next round said, listen, if he talks, kill him. Don't say nothing, nothing. They told him, listen, if you talk, we're going to kill you. Don't say nothing. So they pulled him out of the house, and right before he left the house, He said, hold on 1 second, let me just, 1 second. And he kisses the mezuzah. He kisses the mezuzah. Just looks strange to the people. First of all, what's a mezuzah? What is this thing you have on your door? Second, why are you kissing it? What is this? So they had to ask him. It was very curiosity killed the cat, you know how they say. Say, what did you just do? What is that? What is that? A spell? What, are you going to kill us? What is this? Because, no, I'm just honoring my God. Huh? Because, see, your king, he's scared. So he sends you, he hides in his castle, and he sends you to protect him. My king, all I got to do is just show him, hey, I'm here, and he protects me everywhere. I don't have to protect him. He protects me. They said, if it's like that, we want your king. They converted to. So from here we got the minag. The minag, it's not halacha, the minag, the custom, to kiss the mezuzah. When you come in and out of the house, come in and out of a room, your room should have a mezuzah. Should be a kosher mezuzah, not one that you bought on eBay for $20. You have to get a kosher mezuzah. People stingy on mezuzot. They buy a $500,000 house, but they want to buy a $10 mezuzah. You tell them, listen, each mezuzah, it's halfway decent, it's going to cost you $100, sometimes more. Oh, can you get it for $50? But you spend a $500,000 on the house, Ribono Shel Olam. Spend a $500,000 on the house. You can't spend $1,000, $2,000 on mezuzot to protect the mezuzot, to protect the house, to protect people in and out of the house. No, it's too much. Not too much for $500,000 house, though. It's not too much for $10,000 closets. Mamash, I'm naval velo chacham. Stupid people. I can't express it enough. I'm sorry. This is mamash us. This is us. You buy a $10 million plane, but you don't want to insure it. You buy a priceless neshama, but you don't want to protect it. What other description do you want for such a thing? So Chassidut is doing above and beyond what you have to do. That's Chassidut. But if you're doing basics, if you just basic kosher, you're still fine. You keep Shabbat exactly from the beginning to the end of Shabbat, it's still fine. Doesn't make you less Jewish, doesn't make you more Jewish. You're still perfectly fine. Chassidut means you love Hashem's mitzvot so much you want even more. That's what it means. When we teach the basics. We don't teach Chassidut. I'll tell you some things like I just did now that are above and beyond, but that's selective. You want to do it, do it. You don't want to do it, don't do it. It'll make a difference. No one ever goes to Gehenom for not being a Chassid. No one. No one ever gets out of Gehenom because he tried to be a Chassid. The reason why is because if he was a Chassid, he wouldn't be in Gehenom in the first place. But most people are confused. They think that Chassidut is based on clothing. It's based on the exterior. It's based on if you read a specific book or not. It's not. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to Chassidut. It's above and beyond the law. And for the most part, most people that we think are Hasidim, they're as far from Chassidut as possible. Like a lot of these people that call themselves Hasidei Chabad or other Hasiduts, you see that in reality they're having trouble with some of the basics. Some of the basics. You tell them, listen, you have to teach Mussar. No, we don't teach Mussar anymore. But that's how you become a Hasid. That's how you become a Hasid, by teaching Mussar. Perfecting your midot. What do you think you become a Hasid? By what? By what? Just praying the same prayer 900 times a day? How do you become a Hasid? Becoming a perfect human being, perfecting yourself. No, we don't teach Mussar. But your own founders. That's all they taught. What do you think the Tanya is? It's Mussar. What do you think it is? It's Mussar. No, we don't teach it. So what do you teach then? We teach that you're allowed to wear wigs. We teach that the Rebbe is going to save us. He's the Mashiach. Or somebody wrote today, he's the biggest tzaddik that ever lived. Someone asked, ever lived? Like, are you also like including Moshe Rabbeinu in this ever lived? Like he's bigger than Moshe Rabbeinu? Listen, kvodo b'mkomo. But come on, no. We all know that previous generations, you can't compare to the generation we have right now. You can't. Every generation that passes is lower than the last one. Which goes back to Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon, the wisdom that he had was far above and beyond our comprehension. We make names out of shtuyot, out of our ideas. Somebody said, oh, iPhone, internet, with the phone, iPhone we'll call it. And people bought into it, it sounded good. But when Adam HaRishon was commanded by Hashem to name the animals, he named the animal by its nature. Meaning, the horse, his nature is to run into a war. And that's actually what sus means. That's what sus means. Running into a war. And the same thing goes with all of the other names. All of the other beings. Everything was named based on its nature. Not just based, oh, sus sounds good, dove sounds better, tzipor sounds great. No, everything had a mashmaut, had a significance to it. Meaning that the wisdom of Adam HaRishon, we can't even think like that. The beauty of Adam HaRishon, the Midrash says that the back of his foot, and some say it's the bone that connects the ankle to the foot, the whole, the top of the leg to the bone that you have on your ankle. Some say it's the back of the foot, the heel. Either way, so that one was as bright as the sun. It was so beautiful. It was so bright. His whole skin was like a diamond. It was as bright as the sun. Can you understand such a thing? I can't. I read it 1,000 times. I can't understand it. What? So we're far, far away. And that's not just Adam HaRishon. Then you have a Cain ve'Evel. Then you have all of the other generations. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Say that the beauty of Sarai Imenu, if you take the most beautiful being that ever exists right now, looks like a monkey next to her. Mamash looks like a monkey with hair on his face next to her. The most beautiful person. Can't compare. Not the intellect, not the physicality, not our physical ability. We think that we're strong because there's people that lift and they sport. They do these sports where they pull buses and airplanes and all things like that. You have stories in the Gemara where Chachamim were able to carry 3 people out of a fire. Meaning we can't compare. It might as well be a different world. But yet, Rabotai, the same halachot, the same basics, thank you, the same basics that applied to them applies to us. And one of those basics is to say every day, Hashem, ve'ata tzaddik. Ata tzaddik. Al kol haba aleinu. You are righteous for everything that comes on us. Ki emet asita v'anachnu irshanu. You did what you said you were going to do, and we are the wicked ones. This applies to the generation of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the 12 Shvatim, the Moshe Rabbeinu, Aaron, Kohen, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, everybody, and us. Same thing. Meaning there's no questions really when you learn Torah. There's no questions of why, who, what. Why'd you do this, Hashem? Why'd you do this, Hashem? He said he's going to do it. And we are obligated, it's alacha, in a Shulchan Aruch, meaning basic minimum requirement of every Jew, to say, Hashem, ata tzaddik. It's a very difficult mitzvah. It's a very difficult mitzvah. Why? Every 5 seconds we complain. If we didn't complain, we have nothing to talk about. My shiurim are 3 hours. I think 2 hours, 45 minutes, me complaining to you guys. If we complain, what are we going to talk about? That's what we complain non-stop. We complain non-stop. Instead, what we're supposed to say, Ata tzaddik. Ata tzaddik. It's tough. But we have to aim for it. Why? Because it's the minimum. It's not chassidut. It's not chassidut. Chassidut is celebrate. Chassidut is celebrate when bad things happen. Just like you would celebrate if you won the lotto. Meaning, somebody just shema Hashem, something happened. You say, hey, Baruch Hashem. What do you mean Hashem? Somebody just doing something crazy? That's chassidut. We have any chassidim in the world today that you know of? So, the questions that I have, the concerns that I have, are not against Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem, little by little we start, we learn. One day we're going to know something. But so far I got to, don't complain against Hashem. Why? There's nothing to complain about. He's perfect. Everything he does is good. The fact that you don't know is your problem. It's not his problem. It's your problem you don't know. You don't know how to appreciate what he gives you. Sometimes we're too blind, sometimes we're too stupid, sometimes all types of things. What do we know, Bechlal? What do we know? My complaint is not against Hashem. Complaint is against us. What are we doing? Why do we keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again, expecting a different result? Why? Why? So I'm telling you, I hear this story, and we can't point. Yeah, listen, after disaster happens, it's very easy to blame everybody. He's at fault, she's at fault, he, do, ta, ti. You can blame everyone. The reality is, Rabotai, everybody's at fault. Everybody. So, no one take this as a personal attack, because I'm as much at fault as everyone else. Even though I don't know the kid, and I just met the father under these horrible conditions yesterday. But this is a kitrug on all of us. Rabbi Yisrael Misalant one time came to his Bet Midrash and he smashed on a table. He started rebuking his students. Students didn't understand what hit them. What do we do? You find somebody, I don't know, violate Shabbat. You find somebody go out with a girl. You find somebody, what happened? He's rebuking them. What happened? For the Rav. What do we do? What happened? He said, I just heard that there is a Mechalel Shabbat in France. So everybody's looking at each other. Like, last time we checked, we're nowhere near France. It's a world away. Like today, you get on a plane, a few hours, you're anywhere you want. France is a world away from us. What France? What do we have to do with France? He says, it's exactly the point. You don't realize, if you would learn Torah like you're supposed to, someone in France would not be Mechalel Shabbat. If we would learn Torah like we're supposed to, all these asonot would not happen. The asonot that we're having, the disasters that we're having in the world, is not because of this or that or the other thing. It's because we're not learning Torah. Just a simple, basic mitzvah. We're not even doing right. Obviously, there's a lot of issues that have to do with the story. First and foremost, this whole issue with schooling. The kid was out of school for 4 months. He's trying to transfer from one school to the next school. And the first school, according to the father, this is not my information, so one school delayed giving the records because of money, the other school delayed accepting because of money. And then all types of shtiyot, whatever, who, what, when, and how. Honestly, it's a he said, she said, what's right, what's wrong, it's all irrelevant. It's all irrelevant. Not blaming the school about the record or the kid or the suicide, not. What I am blaming is all of these schools for something different. All of the schools, every one of them. There's not an exception. There's not an exception. At least not one that I know of. Not just the ones involved in the story. All of them that I know of. I want to know which gadol, which rabbi, which sage, which giant, which halacha ever told you that school is supposed to be a business? That teaching Am Yisrael Torah is a business. Who told you this? Who told you you have the right to deny a child because you don't have money? Who told you it's allowed bichlal to kick a child out? Even if he's a mafriya, even if he disturbs other kids. Unless he's mamash an amalek, where he's causing other kids to mamash leave the religion, under no condition are you allowed to kick him out. Not suspend him, not kick him out, not nothing. Who told you you're allowed to do this? Who told you you're allowed to delay allowing a kid to enter your school because of anything remotely to do with money? Who told you you're supposed to allow a kid to enter a school because of a test grade? The Torah is Torah for all of Am Yisrael, Rabotai. Unless he has some mental deformity of some, he's a Baal Mum, misken, he's not able to even catch up, nothing, he's not, doesn't speak, doesn't hear, doesn't write, doesn't see something. He's a Baal Mum, misken. If he's a normal kid, you have to accept him in a school. Money, no money. Who told these people that are running schools today, yeshivot today, to reject kids because of money? Who gave you the right? Who gave you the right to reject a kid because of money? You want to go in business? Go do something else. Torah, Rabotai, is not something you do for money. There's specific halachot that tell you not to. Even to charge money for a lecture, there's only under certain conditions because you were able to do something else, and they have to pay you at least what you would have made doing something else. Now, of course, you have to pay for the facilities, you have to pay for the teachers, you have to pay salaries and so on. I understand. But you have no right to reject a kid because he doesn't have money. You have to go find the money. You want to be a principal? A principal's job is not to create a nicer gym or a nicer statue we're going to put in the auditorium, or we're going to put a nicer statue in the entrance facility so all the parents can see where the $1,000 a month is going to pay for statues. We have looked at the entrance of this school. It's so beautiful. Just the statue sculpture is from Jehannam from 300 years ago. They gave it to us. Cost us only $500,000. Only. We got a bargain. It's worth $2 million. Who told you you're supposed to run a school, a yeshiva, Rabotai? It's not a public school. It's not a school for the non-Jews. A school is supposed to be 4 walls with Torah inside. That's it. Once the schools became a business, everything went downhill from there. But this is not only the principals and the teachers' fault. It's the parents' fault. Why? The parents, you tell them, listen, I have this great rabbi, wonderful rabbi, Talmid Chacham, he learned day and night, whatever. He's willing to teach. He just needs a little bit of money to survive. So, because he's not at the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. He doesn't get man from Shamayim yet. Not yet. Maybe next year. Now he's not getting it yet. So until he gets the man from Shamayim, he needs to get food to feed his 5 kids. So if you and a couple of parents get together, give him a couple $1,000s a month, 2, 3, 4,000, whatever he needs to survive. You can teach your kids morning and night, whatever you want. Alachah, Gemara, Tosfot, whatever you want, you can teach them. Just pay the guy. Oh, where is he teaching? Where is he teaching? Oh, he's teaching out of his house. He's teaching out of a small facility. Oh, you know, the building over there, at the end of the road over there with the 4 walls. Oh, that's the school? That's not fancy. What is that? I can't send my kids to such a place. What's such a place? What do you want it to have? Unicorns flying in the air. What do you want it to have? What do you want the school to have? Oh, it's not up to date. It's not modern enough. The computer is not doing the homework for my kid. Yeah, that's why your kid's stupid. At 20 years old, he still doesn't know how to spell. Because the computer is doing the job for him for 20 years. He still doesn't know anything. So it's not just the teacher's fault, Rabotai. It's the parents too. They're requesting things that are unrealistic, that are unnecessary, that are a complete waste of time. How is the yeshiva going to survive if they're not going to give these people the statues they want? Because if they don't have the statues and the fancy schmancy building and the LED lighting on the top to make sure you have different colors for like the rainbow. For every parasha, there's a different color, and there's a piano on the floor in case you want to play, and there's a room to sleep, and there's a room to dream, and there's a room... With all this shtuyot they spend millions and millions of dollars for, no one's going to send the kid there. No one sends the kid there. No one can send any money. So what are we stingy on? What are we stingy on? We have the yeshivot, Baruch Hashem, we have no shortage of. Baruch Hashem, every other day you see there's a chesed fund or a this fund or that fund raising money to build another facility, another 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, a zillion million. And Shamayim already is saying, how much money do you need for yeshiva? Just get 4 walls and a Sefer Torah and you're finished. But unfortunately, we have a generation where both the people running the schools and people attending the schools are on the same level. No one knows what they're doing. Everybody wants a statue. Nobody wants the Torah. So what are we missing on? We have these giant buildings. Every other day there's a new fundraiser for another building, another building, another building, another building. We just don't have students. No one can attend. Why? No one can afford it. No one can afford it. And the one that can afford it can also afford somebody else to do the homework for them. Well, you think if the guy's a multimillionaire and he donated one of the buildings to the school, they're going to fail his kid? They're going to make him a rabbi at 7 years old. Kid comes to school. Oh, Kvod Harav, how are you? You want to teach today? Oh, no. Oh, you want binky? Oh, here's a binky. Okay, fine, no problem. What do we have, Rabotai? What do we have? What do we have? We have a system that's broken. We took the Torah, we perverted it. Why? We learned Megillat Esther. Megillat Esther tells us right in the beginning of the story, Hashem nearly destroyed the entire world. Why the entire world? If he destroys Am Yisrael, that means right after he's destroying the entire world. He nearly destroyed the entire world. Why? We said, you know what? Let's be like the Goyim. What, they want to have a couple of drinks? Is it kosher wine? Okay, kosher wine will come. You have kosher Chinese food and gefilte fish? Will come. Hashem says you want to go there? No problem. No problem, go do what you want. But you're going to have to pay for it. And near Holocaust almost happened. If we didn't do tshuva, a significant tshuva, Shem Elchem wouldn't be here. Rabotai, to reject children because of money, we have no right to do it. No school has right to do it. To reject children because of what their parents' background or their great-grandparents' background, if he's Yemenite, or if he's Moroccan, or if he's Ashkenazi, or if he's Dishvi, or Datvi, or it's all sinat chinam. It's all baseless hatred that is destroying our nation. It's destroying our nation. And in some parts of our people, they're actually proud of their sinat chinam. I'm not just throwing stories because I have nothing to do with my life. I deal with this all the time. Last week, I had to write a letter on behalf of a kid. Why? This kid is young, 16 years old. Genius. Mamash genius. A little shovav though. A little troublemaker a little bit. Who's 16 years old doesn't make trouble. Anyway, whether he stole a key or he made a copy of the key of the principal's office in yeshiva. Got caught. Wants to kick him out of school. Okay, so the kid apologized. I'm sorry. Chatanu avinu pashanu. Hashem has forgiven us for much bigger sins than making a copy of a key. The kid apologized. I'm sorry. There's only 2 months left of the semester. Almost 2 months, and then he moves on to a different school. Finished this yeshiva. You go yeshiva gdola now. You finished. There's 2 months left. Kicking me out, you're ruining my life. Why? No one's going to accept him now. It's the end of the year. Meaning, you kick him out right now, finished. No more. That's it. He's off the derech, guaranteed. This is a genius, though. It's not a rasha, tembel. No, genius. So what does the principal say? No, we're not going to accept him. We're not accepting him. Why? Why are you not accepting him? But he said, I'm sorry. He made a mistake. We agree it's a mistake. We agree. He made a copy, whatever he did. No one died. No one got hurt because of this mistake, other than your ego. No one got hurt. So, okay, whatever, no problem. Chatanu avinu pashanu. Fine. We accept the kid. No, we're not going to accept him. Why? Why not? Why? Give me a reason. No, it's not the key, it says. It's not the key. Why? Oh, he has something strange about him. What do you mean he has something strange about him? What's wrong with him? Oh, he has homosexual tendencies. What? He has homosexual tendencies. How do you know? What does that even mean? Yes, homosexual tendencies. What, did he come on to you? Did he do something to you? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? He has it or he doesn't have it. What does that have to do with anything? So what, dafka, you want to ruin this kid's life? Like, Garen, you want mamash. Like, now, already it's going to be almost impossible to get him somewhere else. Now you're going to publicize that this kid, Hashem, has this. You're mamash, you're guaranteeing this kid's going to commit suicide. So what do we have to do? We have to, mamash, get big rabbis to write letters, and then also they asked me to write a letter. I don't know why, but anyway, I had to also write a letter. After confirming this kid, not only he doesn't have anything unusual about him, he's a very normal kid, but on top of it, he's mamash a genius. So why is all this happening? Ego. His ego was hurt, the principal's ego was hurt, rabotai, miskin, crying, because ego was hurt. Because somebody made a copy of his key. Instead of worrying about his ego, he should worry about his neshama. He should do tshuva. Instead of being a principal, he should go learn. Instead of being a principal of a school, he should go learn himself how to be a human being. Mamash, you want to destroy kids' lives. These people that are running some of these schools, I don't know why they chose this profession. Go be a dog walker. Go do something else. Why are you a teacher if you don't like kids? Why are you a teacher if you don't have patience? Why? There's one teacher over here, the head rabbi of the school. I don't know how it's even possible that anybody even gave this guy a job at all. Anything religious. He has a shiur, a video. It's not like a hearsay or rumor or conspiracy. All the things I'm telling you is mamash 100%. If I didn't see it and hear it and confirm it with my own eyes, I wouldn't tell you these stories. The head rabbi of a school here in Florida says Judaism does not believe in miracles. The Kriyat Yam Suf, the Sea of Reeds, was a tsunami, like it said in Discovery Channel. This is 100% kfirah. This is 100% heresy. This is a head rabbi of a school, yeshiva. Shem Rachem. Why? Why'd you choose this career? Go work for Discovery Channel then. Go surf on a tsunami. Why are you a head of a school? Why are you a rabbi? For what? What, there's no other jobs in the world? They ran out of careers? Go sell software. I don't know. Go do something. Many of these people, I don't know why, who, what, when. And then I read the Gemara. Gemara in Masechet Sotah says this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Chutzpah tizgeh. There's going to be an endless amount of chutzpah, of a rude behavior. The leaders are going to work against their own people. Not only leaders running the world, not only leaders running companies, but leaders of our school system. Local rabbis, big rabbis, small rabbis, in between rabbis, fake rabbis, this rabbi, all types of things. Going to be a lot of bilbu, a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion where unless you are, like we said in last week's shiur, Hashem and Zayt Zach, unless you're mamash pure, you chose a side, you're with Hashem no matter what. You are going to try to be a chassid, not just basic get by. You're not trying to get by anymore. You're trying to be the best. Why? It's the only way you're going to survive. Because hopefully if you try to be the best, you'll get to basics. Because we never really get to our mark. In reality, in life, you never get to your mark. I used to always tell people in the business world, aim for a very big number of how much money you want to make. Because at the best case scenario, you'll make 60% of it. You're never going to get to your mark, unless your mark is too low, which means that you don't know how to make marks. Aim ultra high. Why? But realistic high. Why? Because at best case scenario, you'll get to 60% of it. You aim for $1 million, the most you're ever going to make is 600,000. You aim for 10 million, most you're ever going to make is 6 million. That's just the way it works. If you're realistic with yourself. Not, oh, no, I'm going to make $1 billion. The guy doesn't have a job. I have a guy who says, no, don't you think I'm going to have $20 million this year? But you don't have a job. You have to have a job first. No, but don't you think? People are unrealistic. Talk about realistic people, smart people. So aim high. So Bezat Hashem, we could even pass with the minimum. Aim to do above and beyond whatever you possibly can. If you could do some small things above and beyond, do them. But at the very least, don't ever give yourself an excuse to get away with not doing the basic minimum. But this, Rabotai, is the only thing that's going to protect us. It's the only thing that's going to help us. And the reason why is because we have so much confusion. We don't know right. We don't know left. We don't know if we should send a kid to school or we should teach him at home. We don't know if the school is worse or it's better, if the teacher is a Jew or he's not a Jew. There's some people that I see that are, they like our page, they follow our things. Mamash, they post their pictures. People love to put their pictures on the internet. They love to put their pictures on the internet for some reason. And every day there's new pictures of these people. And I see every day they look more and more like Baal Shem Tov. If you have a picture Baal Shem Tov, the people look like mamash like Baal Shem Tov. They look like Hasidim from like 1,000 years ago. One after another. It's not one, not two. A bunch of them is there. Mamash, they like our page, so I have to see it all the time. Whenever a few minutes a day that I spend on sharing, I have to see something on the page. You know what the worst part is? They're not even Jewish. They look more Jewish than all of us, but they're not even Jewish. The Jews don't want to be Jewish, and the non-Jews look more Jewish than us. It's a confused world. It's an upside-down world. Only thing that's going to keep us is if we go 100%, 110%, 120%, full force. It's bilbu. It's a lot of confusion. When it comes to the schools, Rabotai, no school has a right to reject kids based on money. You have to find a way. But it's not just the school's fault, it's also the parents' fault. The parents that have unrealistic expectations, they want the teachers to get just enough money to pay for their lunch, as long as they work out of a $5 million building. So the building is $5 million, but the teacher, he can barely pay for his own lunch, miskin. They don't want to pay the teachers. So what happens? Many yeshivot have people that shouldn't be teachers. I know there's one place in New York. I know at least a half a dozen teachers over there. Half a dozen teachers. Not one of them is religious. This is yeshiva. Not one of them is religious. Not one of them is qualified to be a teacher. But that's the only thing they can afford. They speak Hebrew. Well, welcome. But yeah, but you're not religious. The yeshiva. Okay, so we'll teach you whatever it says in the book. Yeah, but you don't believe in it. You're wearing a short skirt. You're wearing a tank top to school. It's a religious school. Okay, so we'll wear a sweater. Okay, but you don't believe what you're saying. Whatever comes out of the heart goes to the heart. You don't believe nothing good is coming out of the heart. Yeah, but that's what we can afford. We'll take it for now until we get more money. What more money? You just got donated $2 million. Yeah, we bought a building with it. Yeah, but what about the stuff that's in the building? In the building. You need stuff in the building too. You need the people in the building. So when it comes to the school, we have a lot of problems. Second thing is with schools is they're teaching them things that, unfortunately, are not enough for this generation. This is a generation that requires proofs. This is a generation that needs to see God, as if it was Mount Sinai. If you keep telling them, listen, believe, 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 they're going to say, okay, believe, 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 but science says X, Y, Z. Can you show me that in the Torah? If the school doesn't have rabbis that are versed in science and how it applies to the Torah, it's only a matter of time before you're going to have classes full of kids falling off the derech. Why? Some Amalek is going to walk in, is going to tell these kids, look, whatever nonsense he's going to come up with, the world is a zillion years old, and the kids are like, oh, they asked the rabbi doesn't know anything. No, you have to believe. What you have to believe, we need to see. These Kiruv lectures, the Torah and science lectures, the Emunah lectures, all that stuff, if you don't give it to kids today on a daily basis, they're going to get off the derech. Why? They need to see God. They need to see Mamash. They need to see the creation. They need to see it. You can't educate them with the basics that got us by. It's not the same thing. It's not the same teaching. Can't do it. The rabbis need to learn a little bit more to apply these things to this generation. Why? Because this generation is full of kids that want things on demand. Which leads to the next point. We have a problematic generation where everything is on demand. People want everything on the spot. To such an extent, we want food on the spot, we want money on the spot, we want everything on the spot. We have no patience whatsoever. This is the reason why there's so much divorce. People have no patience to work things out. This is why people, if you look at the average resume, every 25, 30-year-old guy has already 5, 6 careers. 5, 6 jobs already. Why'd you move so many jobs? You're 30 years old, 35 years old. Why do you have so many jobs already? What, every 2 years you move into a new job? No, they didn't give me the promotion. They didn't give me this. I wasn't growing. What more growing? You were there for only 2 years. You're still a puppy. No one wants to stick it out. You see marriages. The guy gets married 6 months later. He's divorced. She's divorced. Why? Oh, he didn't treat me good. What didn't treat you good? It's only 6 months old. He didn't have time to treat you, period. No one wants to wait for anything. Everybody wants things on demand. It also gets to a point where we don't know how to communicate. It's like people talk in codes. Everything is an acronym. LOL, BRB, DDD, PPP. No one knows how to talk anymore. You have to be like a code detector in order to understand what people are saying. Now it's gotten to a point where people don't even use the BRB or the LOL or anything. They just assume you're going to know. You're going to read their mind through text. I have this happen to me at least once a day. Somebody sends me a text. I have no idea what they're talking about. So what? What does the so mean? I don't respond. And they're like, oh, how come you didn't answer me? You didn't say anything. Oh, no, I was referring about the shiur. And so, right, everything you just said. People don't know how to they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to communicate. No, it's been struggling already for 3 months. Okay, so why'd you tell me now? Why didn't you tell me 3 months ago? Why didn't you tell me 2 months ago? Why didn't you tell me? Why did you wait 3 months? Oh, I thought you were going to know. Why would you think that I know? What am I, a prophet? A mind reader? In Shemaim, the angels are asking, like, what is he talking about? In Shemaim, they don't even know what he's talking about. What is he talking about? Why would he think anybody would understand? No one knows how to communicate anymore. Everybody assumes you're just going to know. I have to ask people, mamash, every single day, without an exception. Every day I have to tell people, I don't understand what you're saying. Every day. Every day, no less than 1 or 2 times, I have to tell people, can you please rephrase what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying. I could show you on my phone. I don't know what you're saying. Can you please restate, rephrase the question, or just tell me what you're saying? They send me an email. The email is a half a page. I still don't know what they're saying. Why? I don't know. It's like I'm almost like I'm getting into the conversation like 75% of the way in. Like they just assume I'm going to know the first 75% because it's in their mind. Because they don't have the patience to explain to me the first 75% because, it takes time. It's an extra 5 minutes. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. So I have to sit there like pulling hairs out, trying to figure out, what is this? It's English. I understand English. Grammar is not so bad. It's email. Well, nothing. People don't know how to talk. People don't know how to speak. The mamash don't know how to communicate. They tell you something, you assume it's one thing, it's something completely different. Oh, I thought you were inviting me to a shiur. No, I wasn't inviting you to a shiur. I was just telling you about a lecture that I heard from Rabbi so-and-so 3 months ago, and I just thought about you about it. What? How did you get, it's like worlds apart. It's not like it's close. People don't know how to communicate. Why? They're too lazy to explain themselves. This starts with basic level education in our schools, by the teachers, by the students, by the parents. Parents assume the kid's supposed to be a perfect little Superman already at 10 years old. If he's not perfect, he must be something wrong with him. So they give him poison. They call it different ADD, ADH, AD this, AD, all these different new diseases we have in this generation. 6,000 years have passed, no one's sick until this generation. Every kid's sick. Every kid has attention deficit disorder. Every kid's retarded. Every kid doesn't know nothing. Every kid is deformed. Every kid's Baal Mum. Every one of them doesn't know nothing. Is this? Why? Everyone. That's it. Billions and billions of dollars are being made killing our kids. Killing our kids. And people don't know. Why? No, he's rowdy in his class. Yeah, he's 10. What did you expect him to do? You weren't rowdy when you were 10? He's 10 years old. Yeah, he's jumping along. I'm going to give him something to calm him down. Why? Just teach him that it's not good, and eventually he'll stop. Or punish him. No. Then his feelings will get hurt. Well, it's better that his feelings get hurt than he takes this drug. Why are you so against drugs? Well, let's just look. Number one side effect of these SSRI medicines that they give these kids, or these depression or different ADHD drugs that they give kids, what's the number one side effect? Suicide. Suicide. Number one. It's not like maybe. Number one side effect on children from these ADHD drugs, whether it is SSRI or it's not. Number one effect on children, specifically on children, Rabotai, is committing suicide. Why? Suicidal thoughts. What do you think? A normal 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old just decides one day, you know what, the mortgage is too much for me. I can't take it. What do you think? A normal 10, 12-year-old, 15-year-old decide, you know what, these kids make fun of me, I'm going to shoot them. He goes into school and starts shooting kids? Kids don't think like that. They're not tainted like us 40, 50, 60 years into this world with all the balagan that we've gone into. They're still kids. They just got out of diapers a few years ago. They're still trying to figure out who and what they are. They don't think like that. They don't think about life actually having significance, life and death. They don't think like that. It's the garbage we put in them. It's the garbage we put in them that's killing the kids. Why? We have no patience. We don't want to discipline them. We don't want to teach them Mussar. No, you're going to hurt their feelings if you tell them no. well, it's better I hurt his feelings and teach him how to be a human being than he goes and shoots 17 kids in school. No, you should give him a trophy. Why? He participated. In what? Being nothing? What did he participate in? We're much killing our kids with our own hands. Why? We're spiritually lazy. We're parents that are lazy. We're just lazy, stupid people. And then we wonder why there's so many shootings in schools. Only country in the world these shootings are happening in is America. You're not hearing about these shootings in Israel. You're not hearing about these shootings in Russia. You're not hearing about these shootings anywhere else in the world other than the richest country in the world, but also the #1 country that gives these drugs to kids. Why? Everybody's lazy. Nobody wants to discipline their kid. Your kid screams, don't bring him to Beit Knesset. Don't give him time to play. Teach him how to be a decent human being. Yeah, but it takes time. I have to go make money. It doesn't make a difference. You have to make a human being. You're responsible for this human being. You don't want him? Give him up for adoption. Don't give him drugs and go away. It's not a cable channel. You're going to put a record button on to record it when you're not home. People don't want to they want to have the kids because it's cute to have pictures, but they don't want to take care of the kid. It's cute for pictures. They want to show everybody on their annual holiday card, the family picture. No one knows what happened before and after the picture. Everyone wanted to murder each other. But look, for the picture, on the cup they send you. Every year they send you a cup with the family picture. It was heavy, You don't know that the kid had a knife in his hand, the mom had a poison in her hand, the father had a bomb strapped on. They don't tell you that part. They don't show you that, but it was happy holiday. No one wants to discipline. Nobody wants to discipline. Why? No, let's just give him a drug. We'll calm him down. Like there are old dogs. You know, your old dog, he's suffering, miskin. You give him a drug, so he passes away without suffering. We're treating our kids like old dogs. So the parents don't want to take care of the kids. The teachers don't want to take care of the kids. What are the kids going to do? What are the kids going to do? What do you expect? What do you expect? What do you expect these kids to do? What do you expect these kids to do? Miskinim. Miskinim, these kids that were born into a horrible generation of stupid people. That's why it says in Tehillim, Psalms, I read it last week to you guys. Al tig'u b'meshichai v'levi'ai al tareu. Do not touch my meshichim, my anointed ones, and do not harm my prophets. Now we know already that a Mashiach is a prophet. So why does it say, don't touch my Mashiachs? Multiple. This is a plural word. Where I thought there was only one Mashiach. Don't touch my Mashiachs, and don't harm my prophets. Here we learn these are two different things. Why? Prophets, we know that's our Torah. It's Moshe Rabbeinu, Isaiah, all the Nevi'im. Ezekiel, Avraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, David, Shlomo, all the prophets. But the Meshichai is something else. What's the Meshichai? Children. The little kids. Why? Every kid has the potential to be Mashiach. Every kid has the potential to be Mashiach. Don't harm him. Don't touch him. Don't destroy him. Not with your sick mind and not with your laziness. Shema Hashem, how many pedophiles are out there in the streets wearing a beard? How many of them? How many of them? And what do? We hide them inside the communities. No, it looks bad for the community. It looks bad for the Torah. No, it looks bad for the Torah that you're hiding the pedophile. That's what looks bad. It looks horrible that you're hiding the pedophile. Why? Because now he's going to rape another kid, and another one, and another one. And that's why you're having all these stories uncovered. Each pedophile already raped 20 kids, destroyed 20 lives. Coming out of the closet. What closet? It's a concentration camp the guy has made. Each one of these pedophiles with a beard comes out. We knew, but we didn't feel comfortable and weren't sure. And it doesn't really look good. Yeah, but he's just killing kids. He's destroying the Meshichim. He's destroying us. He's destroying the kids. What did the kid do, miskin? Wait, he can't defend himself. He's 7 years old. He's 10 years old. He's 12 years old. What's he going to do? He's still trying to figure out right and wrong. What's he going to do against this Josh, this big guy? What's he going to do? What's the little girl going to do? She thinks the teacher likes her. What is she going to do? She doesn't know right and wrong. How's she going to defend ourselves? If we don't defend the kids, how are they going to defend themselves? If you can't defend them, don't have them then. If you can't be a teacher with patience, don't be a teacher. Can't be a parent, don't be a parent then. No, just go somewhere else. Go into a zoo or something. Get a different profession. I don't understand what's wrong with these people. Why are you forcing it? You don't like it, but you still do it? Why? Why? What, for what? What do you get out of it? Money? There's plenty more money somewhere else. There's plenty more money somewhere else. It's not like anybody's making millions off of teaching. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening to us. I don't understand why we're becoming an embarrassment. Embarrassment to our Torah, to Hashem, to ourselves. Mamash, an embarrassment. People just forgot how to behave. I have this broker, not religious. There's a debate between the landlord and the tenant. The tenant spent money on the landlord's house. It's the landlord's house, not the tenant's house. But the landlord doesn't feel like paying it. No, he's not going to pay it. Yeah, but it's your house. That's the contract says. If the tenant pays to fix your house, you have to pay for it. No, I'm not going to do it. No. If he, well, he needs to, the house is broken. No, I don't want to pay for it. So what does the broker say? I say it because the landlord is a Jew. So what does the broker say? I hate dealing with Jews. It's a chilul Hashem. The stinginess, the dishonesty by this landlord is turned into a chilul Hashem. Why? Now this Jew that's not religious at all has justification for not being religious. Why? Because the religious Jew doesn't want to be an honest Jew. Doesn't want to be an honest human being. People keep saying, oh yeah, there's a shidduch crisis, there's a this crisis, there's a that crisis. There's no crisis, Rabotai. Only crisis we have, we don't know how to behave. That's the only crisis we have. We don't know how to behave. And that's why Hashem Yitbarach tells us, if you're not going to worship me, to the prophet Ezekiel, you're not going to worship me, you know what? Go worship an idol. Go! You don't want to worship me? Go worship an idol. Go. That's what he says. You don't want to worship me? Go worship an idol then. Get out of my face. Why? Well, stop pretending. You want to be a teacher? Be a teacher. Don't be a shemachem, crazy people. You want to be a parent? Be a parent. Don't be just for the pictures once a year. Want to be a Jew? Be a Jew. Not just for Yom Kippur. It's time for us to step up, Rabotai. It's time for us to step up. The complaint, the Kiruv is against every single one of us. Because even if it's not us doing the crime, it's our fault anyway. Why? We didn't influence the world around us. It's my fault. It's your fault. It's everyone's fault. The parents that are expecting unrealistic schools for unrealistic prices, the people that are building buildings but don't care about what's inside them. Every day we read in our tefillah where it says, you're supposed to teach your children, banaich, al tikre banaich, ela bonaich. Don't say banaich, don't say your children, say your builders. Why your builders? The children, the Meshichim, they're the future. But instead of worrying about bonaich, the builders, the children, what are we worried about? Is the school going to have my name on it, on the building, when I donate it? I donate the building. Everybody worries about having their name on the building. or the name on the wall. Because they donated $1,000, they want one wall designated to their family. They donated $5,000, they want 2 walls. They donated $20,000, they want 6 walls. They want a chandelier too. Everybody wants their name on the building. But Banaich, they don't care about. Banaich, they want. The building they want. Banaich, they don't care about. So buildings, every day we're building a new building. Every day we're buying a new building. Every day. But good quality teachers, good quality education, good quality actual Kiruv organization, when you have budget to do something, no, it's okay. They'll figure it out. Hashem will help. Hashem will help. If it doesn't have fame, if it doesn't have fortune, if it doesn't have all this pizzazz, all this show off, no one's interested. Look all yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go look at all these online campaigns. Show me one building that didn't get budget, didn't get the money. You want money? Just build a building. If you want money, you want to raise money, just build a building. That's it. Start a campaign. We need a building. Why? For the yeshiva. Okay, how much? $2 million. You'll get the money. We need 24 hours. Now, they even have demands. Not only they want $2 million, they have demands. They want it within 24 hours. Why? Because it's going to run away. The building's going to run away. It's going to run to next week. It's going to run to somebody else. Buildings start running away these days. We want the money, and we want the money in 24 hours. Okay, 23 hours, cash. $2 million comes in. $5 million comes in. $10 million comes in. But nobody asks, okay, what's going to be inside the building? What kind of teachers? Are they going to be pedophiles? Are you going to verify they're not pedophiles? Are you going to verify they actually have patience for the kids? Are you going to pay them decent salary so the teacher is not stressed out and is not working in the middle of the night 3 jobs? Because misken, you're only paying them $500 a week, which is not even enough for one person to live in New York. One person can't live on $500 a week in New York. But you want the teacher to work day and night for $500 a week, for $1,000 a week. What are you going to do with $1,000 a week? You spend $5 million in a building. Why don't you spend half of that and give the rest of the money to the teachers? So you have good quality teachers. They don't have to have 8 jobs. And they don't have to lose their patience because they don't care. It's not that the teachers don't have patience. Teacher misken. The teacher, in some cases, he's so stressed out. Why? The school that he works most of the day in doesn't pay him enough, so he has to work at night. He comes home after all day, all night he's working. He has 1 hour with his family, and miskenim, he sees his kids are hungry. He sees his wife is stressed out. He sees that the bills keep piling up. What is he going to do, misken? So he's stressed out. So as soon as a kid does something, he's like, oh, he loses patience on him. Why? Because the principal's taking all the money. Or the building took all the money. Or the statue in the hall took all the money. This is a kitrug, rabotai. And then last but not least, on everyone. If you notice, this horrible, awful, horrendous story about this young boy, father says it has a lot to do with money. One didn't accept, one two. The point being is, now, Shem Echem, the kid died. Precious Neshama died. What do you see? Online campaigns. Every 2 minutes is a new online campaign. People are donating houses. 24 hours, 50,000. Another 50,000. This campaign for the 17 kids that died in, the other part, in Parkland. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been raised for it. This center, and that center, and this center, and that center. Somebody else, another disaster happens in New York. $500,000. Another disaster somewhere else. $1 million. Baruch Hashem, people are donating. What's the problem? What's the kitrug? What's the problem? The people are donating. Shouldn't you say Chazak u'Baruch? No Chazak u'Baruch. Why don't you donate before the disaster happened? Why do you have to wait until the disaster happens for you to donate? If you would have donated, had every single person that makes extra money more than what he needs. He needs, let's say, $1,000 a week. He makes $1,500. He makes $2,000. He makes $5,000 a week. Baruch Hashem. Why don't you every week when you got your paycheck, why don't you check, you know what, let me go onto one of these organizations, this Chesed Fund, Bezrat Hashem, I don't know, one of these organizations, something, some Kiruv organization, some Chesed organization. Let's see if they need money. Let's see if there's some miskin. There's always somebody that needs money, by the way. Why don't I go check? Why do I have to wait until disaster strikes and somebody dies, or some house is burned, or somebody's on the street, or someone's on their deathbed? Why do I have to wait for that? Oh, then you're going to donate? It's late already. Someone died. Why don't you be proactive? And you ask, well, how am I supposed to know? Go check. Go check. Just like you check on your stocks and your bonds and your bitcoins and your sports team and the car that you like and the car that you want and the vacation that you want and the vacation that you took and all the other stuyot that you check on. Check on Am Yisrael. Check on Am Yisrael. It's your brothers, your sisters. Go check. Maybe somebody needs. Why do you have to wait until somebody knocks on your door? You need any help? Why do you have to wait? This is why the Chachamim never wanted to be rich. This is why the Chachamim did not want to be rich. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. The Chafetz Chaim gave a blessing for people not to be rich. Why? He said if you actually understood what it means to be rich, you wouldn't want to be rich. Who did he give this blessing to? His own son. And somebody heard the blessing. He gave his son, you know how you say, Misha Barach, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, da, da, da. You do the whole blessing. He gave a blessing like that to his son. May you never be rich. If a rabbi gives you such a blessing right now, you think he's cursing you. So the Talmid came to Kvod Harav. He said, Kvod Harav, why don't you bless your son to be rich? Chas v'shalom. I know what's good for my son, and that's how I bless him. Why? Why does he want to be rich? Because if you have a penny extra, not $1 million, a penny extra more than what you need. You have food that you have to provide for yourself, for your family, for your kids, and so on. Of course, you have basic minimum requirements to survive. If you have a penny extra, you have to see if there's somebody around you that needs it. You have to see if somebody around you needs it. If your immediate circle needs it. If you're making, obviously it's more than a penny. Most people are making a lot more than a penny. I'm talking about people that are making decent money. They're making $5, $10, $20, $30, $50, $100,000 a month. And thinking, no, they're saving for their 401ks and their IRAs and their retirement plan and the building and the second building and the third building and all these different buildings that no one can live in. Meanwhile, their entire neighborhood, half the population is starving. The entire community can't have a decent synagogue. Why? No one's donating. It's mamash busha. It's busha. You have synagogues. They have Aron HaKodesh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 Sifrei Torah. So Sifrei Torah, each one is expensive. Cheapest one is $25,000, $30,000. But the actual Beit Knesset itself, in some of these cases, it's like mamash. It's like it was from, they bought it from Anti Zachen. They bought it from somebody off of a cart. They have the same carpet they had for 50 years. They have the same pictures and still with dust on them from 50 years ago. Why don't you invest the money into the synagogue, into a mini Bet HaMikdash? Oh, no one's donating. What do you mean? The whole neighborhood has $1 million houses. Why can't the Beit Knesset at least look like your house? At least look like your house. It should be more meform than your house. No, it's only if it's a... we wait for disasters. We all wait for disaster. We all wait until somebody kicks us out, until somebody dies, until something bad happens. Why? Instead of these kids that can't go to school because their parents don't have money, waiting for scholarships, Each one of these yeshivot should have a handful of people, 10, 20, 30 people that are gvirim, that they know their kids come to the school or they went to the school, whatever it is, on their speed dial. Hey, call them. As soon as a kid can't afford it, call him. Hey, Shlomo, listen, I got a kid here. He can't come to school because he can't afford the $500 a month. Can you do it? What's the big deal for Shlomo? He's got $100,000 a month coming in. That's the job of a principal. That's the job of the rabbi. That's the job of even somebody has to do it. You cannot let the kids sit at home for 4 years like a postema, doing nothing at home. You can't reject the kids. You can't. You have to let them in. And even more so, Rabotai. Somebody came to Rabbi Yisrael Misalant, a poor woman came to Rabbi Yisrael Misalant crying her eyes out. He stopped his limus and said, Ma, what happened? He said, Kvod Harav, they won't let my kid into school. Why won't they let your kid into school? He says, I don't have the money. Rabbi Yisrael Misalant, without a hesitation, starts, he was in the Bet Midrash. There's people there. People, every time he moves, they know he's moving. It's Gdol Adol. Without a hesitation, he said, sell the Sefer Torah. Sell the Sefer Torah. He started screaming, sell the Sefer Torah. Sell the Sefer Torah. Everybody said, why are we selling the Sefer Torah? Why are we selling the Sefer Torah? Give this woman money to sell the Sefer Torah. Because, no, we don't need to sell it. So why doesn't anybody give her any money? Oh, times are tough. Sell the Sefer Torah then, times are tough. Times are tough. Nobody has a few $100s to give this woman to send a kid to school. Sell the Sefer Torah. Why? This child going to school is much more important than the Sefer Torah. It's much more important for the kid to go to school than us having a Sefer Torah in the school. Even if it's the only Sefer Torah. You have to understand, for a kid to go to public school, it's better that he die than go to public school. It's areg ve'al ya'avor. Why? You're almost guaranteeing. It's 99.9% chance the kid's going to turn out to be a goy. It's pretty much you're selling the kid to the goyim. You're sending him to, might as well send him to the zoo with the lions and the thing. Put him inside the cage with the lion and hope for the best. Same thing. You're sending a kid to public school, you're almost guaranteeing the kid, outside of a miracle, is going to be a goy. Of course, there's a miracle here and there. I know there's a couple of kids in California that I met, mamash, they went to public school because their parents, whatever, could afford, whatever it was. The kids, Baruch Hashem, stayed religious. Somehow, they did tshuva while they were in public school, and they stuck to it. There's a couple of people that I know in Florida also survived, but it's very, very rare. Very rare. I know from my own experience. You send the kids to, it doesn't matter who your kid is. It could be a little Moshe Rabbeinu. Outside of an open miracle, the kid's not surviving as a Jew from a public school. He's not surviving. It's outside of a miracle. It's a mamash a miracle. Every little kid, you can count them on one hand how many miracles happened with the kid came out of the public school religious. It's better that you actually, I'm telling you, send him to a zoo inside the lion cage. He has a better chance of surviving. He has a better chance of surviving than surviving public school. Why? What do they teach him over there? Teach him he came from a monkey? They teach him that God doesn't exist? What do they teach him over there in public school? What do they teach him? They teach him a history that keeps changing? They teach him an anti-Semitic history? They teach him that maybe we should all become Muslims? Now there's programs all over America that everybody should become Muslim. They teach him Sharia law, even though they don't know what it means even. What do they teach him? They teach him that boys and girls should use the same bathroom? They teach him that it's okay to have boyfriend and girlfriend at teenage years, at 12, at 11, 10 years old? What did they teach him? What did they teach him? Only garbage they teach him. So instead of spending so much time tracking what Donald Trump said on the news, we should go find some people that have a little bit of money and make sure those people are ready for the next kid that can't afford to go to school. We need to make sure that these programs like URA, that Baruch Hashem is a pretty big organization in New York that funds people that to go pay for yeshivot. I don't know if they only focus on New York or otherwise. The point is there are organizations that pay for it. No one should go to public school if they're a Jew. No one should go to public school if they're a Jew. Why? They're not going to survive. But this is a kitrug on Am Yisrael. This is a kitrug on Am Yisrael that waits too long. We wait too long. Wait like it's too late until someone dies. until there's a fire, until there's a disaster. We wait too long, Rabotai, we wait too long. Now everybody's donating. This happened, everyone's donating after the fact. Now you have to donate before the disaster happens. Before disaster happens. It's funny how before the disaster happens, everybody complains they don't have any money. As soon as the disaster touched their heart, all of a sudden checkbooks open and everybody makes sure that their name is spelled out on the website. The name is spelled out on the website. So-and-so donated $1,000. And then they publicize to their friends. Listen, I just don't. All of a sudden, they're machine. They're telling all their friends to donate also. Why didn't you donate before? Why didn't you donate before? Before the kid died. Before the school went on fire. Before the teachers quit. Before all this happened. This is a kiruv on everyone. Every single person has an extra dollar in his pocket and didn't care to check the world around them, the Am Yisrael around them. There's a kiruv against them. There's a kiruv against them. Why? There's kids that can't eat sometimes in your own community. The house looks like it's a Paro's house, huge house. But Hashem Echem, they haven't paid for mortgage in 6 months, 8 months. Kids don't have food. We all have learned how to put up a show. Everyone looks good. In reality, what's inside, you never know. Sometimes you have huge houses, nothing in it, no furniture. $10,000 fridge with no food in it. It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to check. You have extra, check. Don't wait until disaster comes and knocks on your door. You go knock on its door. That's your responsibility. That's what Hashem said you have to give tzedakah. Not wait until somebody knocks on your door. Tzedakah is something that you give on a regular basis. Maaser is something you give on a regular basis. Two things, two separate completely. Tzedakah and Maaser are two separate mitzvot. Maaser is on an automatic basis. You have to give at least 10% of your salary towards something relevant to Torah, whether it's Zikuy Rabim like Kiruv, or it's Talmidei Chachamim, or whatever it was relevant to Torah. And tzedakah is anything that's above a pruta. Anything you have to give. The point is, Rabotai, Hashem didn't give you money that He gave you just for you to buy more houses, more cars, and more watches. I see this all the time. It's honestly, over the weekend, I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what, I'm so sick of talking about money and people that are stingy. I have to stop talking about it. But unfortunately, you can't. You can't stop talking about it. It's mamash like it's like a disease. I have actually a question right now. I have a question that I have to double check. In the Gemara Masechet Shabbat I was learning, on page 83, it says different things about Avodah Zarah. Different things about Avodah Zarah. It says in the Gemara that the statue, the idol, has tum'ah. Rabbi Akiva says the statue itself is tameh. The Avodah Zarah is tameh. So if someone touches the statue, he becomes tameh. If you rest something on top of the statue, let's, I don't know, you put something on the statue, that something becomes tameh. Why? It's Avodah Zarah. It says it has tum'ah. Some say it's tum'ah like a sheretz, like certain types of crawling things, like rats, different types of reptiles, bugs, different types of bugs. Not all bugs, certain types of bugs have a certain level of tum'ah that's very strong, or tum'ah of a nida, a woman that's impure to you. So there's different levels of tum'ah. Why? It all stems from Avodah Zarah. So I actually thought, I have a question right now, and I have to find out the answer. If Avodah Zarah is tameh, shouldn't our money also be tameh? Because many of us are treating our money like it's Avodah Zarah. Many of us are worshiping our money so much that we only live for it. We think about it. we breathe it, we dream about it, we write about it, we think about it, we plan for it. It's a legitimate question. People are mamash willing to sell their souls for money. Anything. I see this all the time. I'm tired of talking about money, but I can't stop because it's mamash, it's everywhere. This entire story of Purim, Megillat Esther, we talked about it last week. The key ingredient, the root of all evil, money. Haman hated the Jews, and the only way that he was able to exercise that hate by giving Achashverosh $384 million. Because even though Achashverosh also hated the Jews, and some say even hated the Jews more than Haman, he wasn't ready to exercise that hate until Haman wrote a check for $384 million. Once he gave him some money, it's fine. Why did Hashem allow this to happen? Because the Jews also liked money. He said, listen, Achashverosh has all this money, and he has all this power, and he's inviting us to a party. How are we going to say to the rich guy, we can't come to the party? Then he's not going to invite us again. Then he's not going to do a deal with us. Then he's not going to this. Then we're always worried about what everybody else thinks about us except Hashem. We sold out. We went to the party. We had the kosher wine at the non-kosher party. We went to the non-kosher wedding with the mixed dancing. Went to the non-kosher bar mitzvah with the mixed dancing. We thought we're doing a mitzvah even though it's not allowed. People have these mitzvot. They call them weddings or they call them bar mitzvah. But there's mixed dancing there. To go to such a place is better off that you die than go to such a place. Arek v'al yavo. Why? Place of immodesty. Sex crime. Sex crime is one of the three things. It's better that you die and not commit it. It's better than someone dies than waste seed. It's better than someone dies than worship an idol. It's better than someone dies than commit relations with a woman he's not allowed to commit. If she's not Jewish, better off that he dies than he commits relations with her. If it's his own wife and she's nida, it's better off that he dies and not be with her. Not, oh, maybe. No. Better off that he dies. That's what the Torah says. Better off that he dies than be with a woman he's not allowed to be with. Someone tells you to go murder somebody, better off you die than murder them. Why? Your blood is not more precious than his. Going to one of these mixed dancing parties, same thing. Yeah, but everybody else is going. Okay. The Shadim are also going there. And they come home with you too. They don't leave. So all of these things that people are just, why? They're doing it for money. They're doing it to look good. We care about looking good in front of everyone except Hashem. And we keep challenging ourselves to stay up with the Joneses. To have a fancy house and a bigger car and a bigger this and a bigger that. But basic level commitments we can't keep. Basic level commitments, just to keep our word. You say something to somebody, you promise them something. Oh, I forgot. What you forgot? You didn't forget to pay your mortgage for the big house. You didn't forget to get yourself a new car. You didn't forget to get yourself a new piece of jewelry. You didn't forget to make the investment. You didn't forget to sell. You didn't forget to buy. But the basic level commitment to just check your neighbor to see who needs. Maybe somebody needs money for yeshiva. Maybe somebody needs money for Shabbat. Maybe somebody needs money just in general to survive. No, that you forgot. You forgot to check. To cash the check that Hashem sends you, you didn't forget. But to check on Ham, he said to see who needs, who doesn't need, forgot. And everyone thinks I'm talking about millionaires. No, I'm talking about everyone. This is not a shiur for millionaires. This is for everyone. Kal v'chomer for millionaires. This is for everyone. It's for every single person that gets a paycheck. Even if the paycheck is tzedakah itself. Someone lives on tzedakah, even they have to give tzedakah. Someone that lives on tzedakah has to give tzedakah. But no one ever has money for Hashem. This is why kids die. We have money for buildings, but not for what's in the building. Al tikre banaich ela bonaich. Instead of the building, the banaich, we're worrying about the bonaich, building more stuff. If it's going to have my name on it, then I'll donate for that. But if what's inside, let's just get some teachers in there. Get some guy with a beard. He's fine. Yeah, maybe he's a pedophile. Maybe he's a crazy. Maybe he's not there. Why are you going to have anybody as a teacher just because he has a beard? Just because she has she says she's religious? Why? You have to double check these teachers. You have to double check what are you putting inside the building. So this is a kitrug on everyone. Why? Because we're all partners. We're all partners in this crime. This little kid could either, and all these other kids that died a few days before him, they got shot up by some other Rasha. This could either be all of them are in Gan Eden and we're pretty much, they died in vain. We didn't learn anything from it. Or we could actually start all doing tshuva as a community. Stop faking it, Ahavat Israel. Everybody says, no, just unity, and let's fund more trips to Israel. Let's fund more Hanukkah parties. Let's fund more shtuyot. Fund basic necessities of people. Let's fund more people from, some place that had a disaster. Fund Am Yisrael. Fund your brother and sister. You know how many Jews don't have food for Shabbat? You know how many people that learn Torah day and night, Avrechim, don't have food for Shabbat? They live off of miracles. Why don't you fund that? You know how many Jews don't know how to do Shema Yisrael? No, but we're worried about saving the dogs and the cats and the dolphins and the butterflies and everything else. So this, Rabotai, it's time for each and every single one of us to do a little bit of cheshbon nefesh. Cheshbon nefesh, what are you doing? Are you waiting for instructions? Second thing is, if you're going to send your kid to school, where are you sending him? Is it a place with people that someone can vouch for? Or the website looks good? You send them there because the website looks good. Third, if you're a teacher, do you really want to be a teacher? Or you really want to be an astronaut? Or you really want to be a rock and roll star? But you're stuck being a teacher until they give you a gig. Don't just be a teacher because it's the only job they gave you. There's plenty of other jobs. Because if you're not ready to be a teacher, don't be a teacher. Why? You have responsibility for someone that could be Mashiach in your hands. You have a responsibility. That student that you can't stand, that student that you have no patience for, that student that's causing all the trouble, that little baby that just did something in his diaper, that could be the next Mashiach. If you don't have patience for him and you lose your mind, you could be killing the next Mashiach. Physically, spiritually, mentally, in a million other ways. So if you're not fit, if you're not ready, if you're not interested, if you don't want to be a teacher, don't be a teacher. Find a different job. And last but not least, yeshiva is not a business. Torah is not a business. No one says you have to be homeless. No one says you're not allowed to make a salary or make a decent living. But if that's the reason why you're doing it, you're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed under any condition to reject the kid from a yeshiva because of money. You have to go find the money. Somebody has to go, and you have to let the kid until they get the money. You have to let him go to school. You have to let him learn Torah. You cannot reject the kid and deny his eternity because the parents miskinim, they weren't giving money. You can't. It's no different than sending him to a concentration camp. No, but if we let him in, then we have to let everybody else in. Then let everybody else in. Yeah, but how are we going to support it? Hashem provided first, he's going to provide second too. And if you don't believe that, you shouldn't be a teacher at all, period. You shouldn't be a teacher of yeshiva. If you don't believe that Hashem provides the parnasah, you shouldn't be a teacher in yeshiva. In the book of Job, Hashem says, Hashem says to Job, Mi agdimani v'ashalem. Who did something first, before me, and I'll pay him back right now? Who gave before me, and I'll pay him back right now? Who gave me first, and I didn't pay him back? I'll pay him right now, cash. Mi agdimani v'ashalem. Me. Who gave before I did? Who? If you did, I'll give you cash right now. I'll give you cash right now. If you don't believe that Hashem's going to provide, you shouldn't be a teacher in yeshiva. This, Rabotai, is basics. This, Rabotai, is basics. Basics, not Hasidut. Not above and beyond. But this is what's happening. Unless we fix it, it's just going to get worse. The fact that it's getting closer and closer to home, there's more and more stabbings, there's more and more terrorist attacks, there's more and more suicides, deaths, diseases, fires. If you're not reading the signs, there's something wrong with you. You're blind, deaf, stupid, a combination of all. I don't know, you're Baal Mum. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. There's a disease. Yeah, of course, Mashiach says in the Torah, before the Mashiach comes, there's going to be a lot of craziness, a lot of balagan. It says. But this is stuff that's above and beyond. This is specific. This is within communities. You have certain communities that have had multiple fires inside the same community just in the last year. What, all of them have a problem with the plata? All of them have a problem with the electric out? All of them? Certain communities have specific fires. Certain communities, specific fires. Certain communities had shootings. Certain communities had murder. Certain communities had theft. Certain communities have bar minan, all types of things. Hashem Hashem. Countless hospitals opening on a regular basis to treat more cancer patients. Every other day you find out another person you know has cancer. Hashem Hashem. He's stage 2, he's stage 3, he's stage 4, he's bar minan. How many people have to die from cancer for you to realize there's a problem? Number 1 cancer is in the sex organs. Both for men and for women. Doesn't give you guys a hint of what's causing it? What, I have to spell it out? The Torah has to spell it out. Hey, by the way, number 1, it's not a Jewish thing, it's a whole thing. Number 1 location for both males and females of where they have cancer that causes death is in the sex organs. Number 1. What, people don't realize? You need to spell out, everybody wants an email? You want to be on the email list? You want to get it spelled out? I'm going to type it for you. This is why. Hashem said be modest, you don't be modest, so he's going to give you cancer in the place you wanted to show. He's going to show it to everybody. Look here. You want to show it? Here. I'll give you extra stuff to show. You don't want to cover your hair? Okay, I'll take off your hair now. You don't want to cover your hair? I'll take off your hair. Now you have to wear something. Oh, you're going to wear a wig? Okay. It was Avodah Zarah before, it's Avodah Zarah now. Nothing changed. You don't want to be modest? You want to wear extra tight clothes? No problem. What? People don't see it? You need it spelled out? The drug companies themselves are telling you, listen, by the way, number 1 side effect is suicidal thoughts. Oh, let's give me some more. Is insurance going to pay for this? Did you read the side effects? Did you see what's happening? Did you realize you're about to kill your kid? Did you realize you're about to kill yourself? Did you realize something bad's going to happen? No, you're going to wait. You're going to wait till something happens. Why? Why are we waiting so long? Why? Why don't we just check a little bit? Why don't we spend just a little bit of time learning our Torah? A little bit of time paying attention to the world around us and less time chasing money. Less time chasing bitcoins and cars and watches and so on. I see people with $15,000, $20,000 watches, but they tell me they can't afford to send their kids to yeshiva. Busha v'chirpa. You have a $10,000, $20,000 watch, you can't afford to send a kid to yeshiva? What do you think, the teachers are going to live off of man? No, he wants a $10,000 watch. So that's the thing. This is the same thing that I used to see in the business world, just in the insurance business. Everybody wanted to fool each other. The insurance company found every single excuse in the world not to pay. The doctor overcharged because he knew that the insurance company is not going to pay the full bill, and the patient only wanted to buy insurance after he's already sick. Same thing. This is the same thing. Same thing. This is our nature. Unless we start learning Mussar to perfect our nature, we are going to continue getting into bigger and bigger trouble. But it's getting closer to home. It's getting closer to home. You see, all you need to do is just, you don't even need to see the news anymore. You don't need to go to see the news, Baruch Hashem. Just go to the websites that raise money. Go to the Chesed Fund. Go to the other websites, Haredi. Go to all these different websites that raise money. Just go to their website. You see disaster, disaster, disaster. Worse than disaster. Double disaster. Bigger disaster. Bigger disaster. One disaster after another. By the time you just passed the first page, your heart melted to nothing. Second page, you want to commit suicide yourself. Every one of these. But how come we don't check before? Because we like our money too much. We like our material too much. We're too busy with our own lives. We forgot about God. So that's it, Rabotai. I vented enough on you guys. You can ask questions now. Okay.
How do we want to learn zechut on money and say that it's not avodah zarah?
Okay.
How do we do it? What do we base our full decision on?
Okay. So the money is one of the tools that Hashem gave us in this world. We even have money mentioned in the Torah. As a matter of fact, it says, anyone that wants to be a chacham, must excel the Gemarot, Bava Metzia, Bava Kama, and Bava Batra. Want to be a chacham? Meaning Talmid Chacham. Not just, okay, you can learn a lot of things in life. You can learn a lot of Torah also. All the Midrashim, the Shulchan Aruch. No. You want to be a Talmid Chacham, you must excel in the laws about money. Laws about business. That's what Bava Kama, Bava Metzia, Bava Batra. Those three Masechot technically were supposed to be originally one Masechet, but it would be too big. The Chachamim say, perfect and excel in those areas. In the area of business. Why? Because like you just said, Baruch Shekivanta, it's a very thin line. It's a very thin line between Avodah Zarah and Mitzvah. Very thin line. On one end, you go to work, morning, you come back at night, every single minute that you spent is considered like you learned Torah. Every minute. You went, you sold cars, you sold houses, you sold, groceries, whatever you sold, you healed people. Every single minute that you worked is mitzvah like you learned Torah. On the other end, you could do the same exact thing, but it's considered nothing. If even worse, it could be avodah zarah. It's a very thin line. So what's the thing? What's the thin line difference? The thin line difference, Rabotai, stems from Yirat Shamayim. Yirat Shamayim means that there's a pasuk in the Torah that says, Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. A person has to think that Hashem is next to him all the time. When? All the time. When? All the time. When's all the time? All the time. When he's sitting, when he's standing, when he's eating, when he's drinking, when he's, in the shower, outside of the shower, in the business, in the store, in the yeshiva, when he's with his wife, when she's with her husband, when he's, all the time. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. Hashem is next to me all the time. All the time. Why? If you mamash think that Hashem is next to you all the time, you'll do Ratzon Hashem. You'll do the will of Hashem. But if you think that Hashem is next to you sometimes, most likely you'll never do what He wants. Most likely you'll never do what He wants. If He's next to you all the time, you'll do what He wants. If it's sometimes, most of the time you won't do what He wants anytime. You'll do what you want, but it happens to be what He wants also sometimes. Like for example, some people think that Hashem is only there b'knesset. It's only there. So in the b'knesset, they donate to b'knesset. There's aliyot on Shabbat, on the holidays. They give. Hashem wants them to give. Because you need. If it wasn't for people giving, there wouldn't be Bate Knesset, there would be Bet Midrash, there would be Talmidei Yeshiva, there would be Sefer Torah. So He wants them to give. So it's a mitzvah. Hashem wants them to do a mitzvah. But then they leave the Bet Knesset, and they go back to their business, and they do an illegal business. They sell electronics that are used as new. They sell things that are not theirs. They they do a lot of illegal business, all types of things. They sell drugs, they kill people, and so on and so forth. Hashem says, oh, I was only there to be Knesset using the illegal money to fund the things that I want you to do. So that person's only doing Shiviti Hashem Nagdi Tamid only when it's convenient for him. So even his mitzvah, ba ba'avera. Even the mitzvah comes in a way of sin. So in reality, he's never doing what Hashem wants. On the other hand, a person that thinks about Hashem all the time, as often as humanly possible, he's thinking, okay, woke up in the morning, modani. He goes, netilat yadayim, does a blessing. Bathroom, does a blessing. Why are we doing all these blessings a million times a day? To constantly remind ourselves, Hashem is next to me. Hashem is next to me. The only reason why I was able to go to the bathroom is because Hashem allowed it to go. Hashem allowed the water to go through my whole system, my body retain what's necessary, and excrete what's not necessary. He turned the apple, part of it turned into blood, part of it turned into waste. The part that's blood, that's how I'm surviving. The part that's waste leaves my body. The steak also turned into blood. The ice cream also turned into blood. The candy also turned into blood, and so on and so forth. Every single thing that's good for me stayed in, everything that's not went out. I only went to the bathroom. Why? Hashem willed it to happen. So you think about this. You realize if He didn't let it happen, stuff would stay in your hand. The steak looks good. Looks good in front of you. But if imagine if the steak entered and didn't leave, just stayed in your body. So now you have an extra piece of meat in your body. Okay, so your stomach can expand. But after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steaks, finished, dead. Why? No more room. You're hungry, but you can't eat. Even more so, how is it that your stomach has an acid that breaks down the meat of the steak, but doesn't break down the meat of your stomach? Did you ever think about that? The meat of the steak is broken down. Some of it turns into blood. Some of it goes waste. But your stomach is also meat. If you take the cow, you take the stomach, you cook it up, it's meat. Cook it up, put some ketchup on it, delicious, right? So, goes into your stomach. Her stomach goes into your stomach. Some turns into blood, some turns into waste. So how come your stomach, that's also a stomach, that's also meat, how come it doesn't get digested also? How come the same acid doesn't break down your own stomach? Think Hashem. Think Hashem. For going to the bathroom, if you just think about going to the bathroom, just go, think about Hashem, about how you're able to go to the bathroom, you'll never stop thinking Hashem. Just something as simple as that is so sophisticated. So now you thought about Hashem, just the morning, you haven't even started your day yet. You go pray. You pray to Hashem, you have a tefillin. If you do tefillin, you have a direct line, talk to Hashem. Talk to Hashem. Hashem, you need help. After that, you go to whatever your job is. You're selling cars, you're selling houses, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're whatever you are. Now, if you think about Hashem, automatically your business changes. Why? Certain deals you're just never going to do. Why? You know they're wrong. Certain customers you're never going to deal with. Why? You know they're criminals. It's not worth it. Yeah, but it's a lot of money. Hashem will provide it in a different way. If Hashem is going to provide you two choices all the time. There's always going to be a right choice and a wrong choice. You're always going to have the ability to choose. He's going to send you a customer that can give you a lot of money, but he's a criminal. He's going to have a customer that's going to give you a little bit of money, but he's straight. You have to pick the one that's straight. Why? That's the right choice. Yeah, but I'm going to lose out on a lot of money and I can't give tzedakah. Don't give tzedakah. You're not doing anybody any favors. It's better you do honest business. I'll tell you a personal story. I don't know if I ever told anybody. You could believe it, don't believe it, doesn't make a difference to me. When I was still working for Raymond James back in 2003, I just made my first $1 million. And I was 23 years old. But you know, you don't keep the whole $1 million. You have taxes, you have expenses, you have the firm, and so on and so forth. Still, I made some money. Anyway, it was time for me to make a decision. Am I going to start working on, maybe on my way out, leave the firm, start my own firm, work for another firm? A few firms were calling me to come work for them. When you succeed, people tend to find out whether you like it or not, especially when you work for a big firm. So anyway, there was this guy, Michael, in my office, and he's like, listen, I got a guy that's has a firm, and I think you should talk to him. You have a big business, you build, whatever, all the nice compliments that people say. And I should talk to this guy. I said, okay, no problem. Tell him to call me. So the guy calls me, and we start talking, chit-chatting, and so on. And he asked me about my business, the size of the business, how much clients I have, how much money I'm managing, what we're doing, da-da-da. He's like, all right, let me cut to the chase. He's like, listen, if you move your business to my firm, I'll pay you cash. Before the whole thing moves, I'll pay you cash $3.2 million. Cash. And then once you come and the whole business transfers, I'll give you another $3.5 million. Now imagine, I'm 23 years old. $3 million is a lot of money. At 23, 93, it's always a lot of money. So normally, what should be the response? Can I go there now? Can you pick me up? Can you send me an Uber? But I was brought up with I was brought up by honest parents, Baruch Hashem. And my next question was, okay, what kind of business do you do? I wasn't a fool. I said, what kind of business are you doing? It's not a big deal. It's da-da-da-da-da. Wait, hold on a second. What do you mean? What's da-da-da-da-da? And he starts explaining to me. And I said, oh, so you have a boiler room. You have a place that's illegal. He goes, no, it's legal. It's legal. It's just we just have our own thing that we're doing. But what do you care? You just raise new money or do this. I'm like, oh, so you're asking me to steal this money from my clients. In so many words. In the legal way. But in reality, I'm going to steal it from my clients and give it to you. Listen, I'm going to pay you this. And he started increasing the price. I said, thank you, click. Now, a $7 million test for any age is a lot of money. But not if you have some level of integrity. For me, Baruch Hashem, it wasn't a test. I told the story maybe 100 times to my employees in the past. Not because it was a difficult test for me, but it was a difficult test for them. Why? They were willing to sell their mother for a few dollars because they were still sold to money. They still valued money as if it was God. For me, Baruch Hashem, it's never been my test. So I told them, listen, you can't sell your mom for money. You can't sell God for money. It's money, but you're stealing from people. They worked hard for the money. Why are you going to steal from them? They worked hard for the money. Why are you going to steal from them? Why? They worked hard for it. Why? You don't work hard for your money? How'd you feel if somebody stole your money? No, but they're rich. So what if they're rich? So it just makes it more right to steal from them because they're rich or they're poor or this or that? Who gave you the right to steal? It's not yours. Nobody taught you that? Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. Everybody always starts making, I didn't think about it that way. I didn't see it that way. I wasn't sure. Maybe this. Everybody has excuses after the fact. Yeah, but somebody died already at this point. After the fact, everybody has a lot of questions and issues and so on. If you ever noticed, every financial crisis, every major disaster, Everyone always says, oh yeah, I knew it, and I saw it, and I thought about, okay, so how come you didn't do anything before? Everyone knew that the dot-com bubble was going to crash after it crashed. Everyone knew that the housing crisis was going to happen after it happened. Everyone knew that Bitcoins and all the cryptocurrency is going to go to zero after it goes to zero. But in the meantime, everybody's in it. Oh, I knew. The point is, Abotai, is that Hashem expects us to do the right thing before it's obvious to everyone else. Because it's obvious to us. It's obvious to you what's right and wrong. It's obvious to you. It's important that you make these decisions and make sure that they're right, because the tests are only going to get bigger. They're not going to get smaller. They're only going to get bigger, these tests. And sometimes that test is going to seem like it's a life and death test. It's going to seem like if I don't steal the $1,000, I'm not going to have food for Shabbat. Which seems like you're going to die, but you're really not going to die. It's just inconvenient Shabbat. You still have no right to steal. You still have no right to cheat. So, how do you pass the test? Baruch Hashem, even though I wasn't necessarily religious, I always was connected to Hashem Yitbarach, some way, in my own strange way. You have a bigger merit. You have the real truth now. You already know the real story. You already know Hashem is real. You're not 23 and questioning whether God's real or not, whether this, whether that. You already know the truth, Baruch Hashem, right now. So the test should be much easier for you. And the test is, can you ask yourself every minute of the day, do you really believe that God's next to you right now? Because if you believe that God's next to you right now, all those tests, as far as money is concerned, become easy. Why? If you know what God is watching. God's watching right now. He's watching, and you're about to cheat this guy for $500 or $5 or $5 million. You're not going to do it. So once you actually understand that God's watching, already dishonesty leaves your blood system. Now you leave room for honesty. Dishonesty left. Honesty is the only thing you have room for. So now that your money is going to be more blessed, first and foremost. Second of all, you're going to start, since God is watching, you think, okay, what does God want me to do now? Now that I have the money. Now that I made money, whatever the money was, 500, 5,000, 5 million, whatever it is, what does God want me to do with this money other than obviously survive, pay the mortgage, feed the kids, if you have a pet, feed the pet, whatever it is, the basic minimum needs. What else does God want me to do? Once you start thinking with that type of straight mind, of what does God want my money to be, then your job becomes no different than Limud Torah. Why? Your entire existence has God in play. Not after, not once you got the check, not like once a month or once a year, or only when you meet the rabbi, or only when you see the email, all the time. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. What's tamid? All the time. All the time. Contract, no contract. You have to constantly think about Hashem. It's not easy. At first, it's not easy. But if you get yourself used to it, it becomes your second nature. So especially when there's transactions, especially when there's a transaction, a customer comes in or calls or something, there's a deal that crosses your desk, always ask before you sign on the dotted lines, before you press the cash register, what does God think of this? Not is he thinking it's going to be a successful deal or a failure. No, I'm not talking about success or failure. I'm talking about, is this honest or not? Is this an honest deal or is it a sin? Am I looking for a leniency for this to be allowed and hoping that Hashem forgives me? Or kosher badatz, glatt kosher. Is your money kosher or not? Did you overcharge the guy? Did you sneak away an extra 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% and the guy didn't notice? Did what it's saying, small print, really matter, and you know that the guy didn't look and he's going to pay for it? A lot of people are going into these short-term lending businesses right now. They're destroying their neshamot. They're not only destroying other people, they're destroying their own neshamot. Why? It's predatory business. You know that the guy, when you're lending the guy money, and the guy's going to pay 25, 30% interest, you know for sure he can't pay back. All he can do is refinance it, and refinance it, and refinance it, and refinance it, and only if he wins the lotto he's going to pay back. That's predatory loans. That's dishonest business. It's unethical business. And eventually those businesses will be shut down too. So you have to ask yourself, would God be proud of you for what transaction you're doing? You're about to sell a drug. The drug killed 900 people last week out of 1,000 that took it. But you make $10 a pill. $10 a pill is 10 times more than what you make on every other pill. But you know that 90% of the people that are going to take it, they're going to die. You sell, you don't sell. Now all of you are going to say, no, you don't sell. Why? Because you don't sell drugs. Because it's not a test for you. But someone that's in that business is thinking, listen, you know how much $10 a pill is? I usually only get $1 a pill. It's a test for them. It's a test for them. You have to understand, each one of us has our own test. Only way we can pass it, Shivit Hashem. We ask her, is Hashem with me or not? If he's with me, does he agree? If he agrees, Baruch Hashem. I'll sign on the dotted line. I'll sign whatever you want. No questions asked. I'm not worried at all. Not worried at all. But if Hashem doesn't agree, all I have is worry. Yeah.
You said if somebody uses that towards their business, their life, how would you know an answer right there and then if you make a business decision?
Repeat that again. If somebody is
Uses that concept.
Ken, how would he know if he's using it or not?
No. Somebody uses that concept. Asking for is this the right decision or not, is it kosher or so on.
Right.
How would they know an answer?
They would have to know the halakha. They would have to know the halakha.
Analyze.
Huh?
Analyze.
Okay, so you have to. Okay, so if you have, let's say, for example, the basics, everybody knows. Everybody knows. Every single person that's above a teenager knows right and wrong. Everybody knows whether something is honest or dishonest. So let's say, for example, if you have a deal in every business. Now, of course, there's certain halachic issues with certain businesses in general, but that doesn't pertain to 99% of the deals. 99% of the deals are basic right and wrong that everybody knows, whether you're a Jew or a non-Jew. Everybody knows right and wrong. So, for example, if you're about to rent a house or sell a house, you're about to sell a house. You want to sell a house. Now, you have a buyer. You found a buyer. You found a buyer. The buyer is interested in paying, I don't know, $1 million for this house. You're going to make $50,000 commission. It's a good commission. Or 60 or whatever the commission is. Right? Now, you found out while the buyer is getting the money from the mortgage and for whatever, you found out that in reality the house is in deep trouble. The house is built on, I don't know, potentially a former cemetery, that you saw a letter in the mail that came in to the former landlord that said that they're going to demolish this house. The new guy doesn't know. Or there's there's termites in the walls that are destroying it, and really the foundation of the house is rotten. Or there's this issue or that issue. There's something systemic, really problematic. You know for a fact. Now, if you tell the owner, if you told the guy, he's not going to buy. And in your eyes, you just lost $50,000. On the other hand, if you don't tell him, you make your $50,000, the guy buys the house, and he has to deal with his own problems. Now, according to halacha, if he is a Jew, you have to tell him. Why? Because you cannot allow someone to fall into something. You can't put a obstacle in front of a blind person, if you will. But if he's a non-Jew, you technically do not have to tell him. Technically, you do not have to tell him. But if you do, it will be Kiddush Hashem. you'd make the biggest mitzvah in the entire Torah.
To your example, to what you just mentioned.
Now, if a person asks himself, my example, which is Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid, what does God want? Of course, God wants you not only to do the right thing halachically for the Jew, but He also wants you to sanctify His name with a non-Jew. Why? Example, Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu had an opportunity to sanctify His name. First time Hashem told him, go hit the Selah, the rock, and water will come out. Moshe goes, hits the rock, water comes out. 40 years later, Hashem says, go speak to the rock. Speak to the rock. Don't hit the rock. Speak to the rock, and water will come out. Moshe slipped, and he hit the rock. He hit the rock. Why? Because the people were annoying him. They were yelling, no, where's the rock? Where's the water? You know, Am Yisrael is a little annoying sometimes. No, when's the shiur starting? But you all came late. No, how come you're late? People are annoying sometimes. So Moshe got upset and he hit the rock because he couldn't find the rock. So he just hit the rock and the water came out. Now that by itself is a miracle. The water came out of a rock. But Hashem says no. It's a miracle that the water came out of a rock. But it's a little bit less Kiddush Hashem. A little less Kiddush Hashem. You missed out an opportunity to do a Kiddush Hashem. For that, you cannot enter Eretz Yisrael. You cannot enter Eretz Yisrael. So just the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu missed an opportunity to do Kiddush Hashem, look at the punishment that he got. Kal v'chomer on us. We don't have 1/10 of the percent of the mitzvot of Moshe Rabbeinu. We need every Kiddush Hashem we can get. Which means that if you use this Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid, is God next to me? Yes. That means He wants me to do the right thing ethically and halachically. Not just halachically, ethically too. What's right is right. Everyone knows the difference between right and wrong. Everyone. You can play stupid from here until next week. In Shemaim, they know what's in your heart. Hashem knows what's in your heart. He says, hey, you know what's in your heart. Yeah, but no, don't say, there's no buts up there. They know, they'll show you exactly what was in your mind. In Shemaim, I'll show you a movie, not of only what you did. They're going to show you exactly what was in your mind. What did you think? There's no lying in Shemaim. There's no like, oh no, but I wasn't sure. No. Here, this is what you thought. This is what happened. You were thinking about the girl. This is the girl. That's what you did. No, I thought it was my wife. No. You knew it wasn't your wife because you were thinking, thank God it's not my wife. You were thinking, I'm going to show you a picture of words you saying in your head, thank God it's not my wife. There's no jokes in Shemaim. There's no pretending. In Shemaim, they know that you know. Hashem knows that you know. And that's the scariest part, Rabotai. That's the scariest part when the Chazal talks about, there's actually a few near-death experiences in the Torah. Not just the people that died recently, people in the Torah. One of the sages, his son died. After a while, he woke up out of death. And he said, what did you see, my son? He said, the world over there is upside down. It doesn't make any sense. He says, what did you see? He says, the rich people and the powerful ones, they're not important over there. But the poor people here are very important over there. The people that are Talmidei Chachamim here, they're very important over there. But over here, they're not important. He goes, oh, you just saw Olam HaEmet. You saw the real world. You didn't see what you saw is right. What you have here is a lie. Here, the people that have a lot of money are important. The Talmidei Chachamim are not important. It's opposite. In Olam HaEmet, everything is right. Everything is right. One of the amazing stories, it says in the Gemara Masechet Ta'anit, that testifies to the issue of what the significance of making the right decisions with money. It's also relevant to Purim, by the way. The Gemara Masechet Ta'anit talks about one of the greatest sages that ever lived, Rabbi Chanina ben Tardion. Rabbi Chanina heard there is a gzera, there's a decree by the evil Romans, anyone that teaches Torah, death penalty. Death penalty. What does Rabbi Hanina do? He goes and he teaches Torah in public, in open areas. Rabotai, shiur Torah. Where? Middle of the street. 500 people, 1,000 people. He doesn't have to send emails, text messages, WhatsApp, have him message from India 24 hours a day, begging people to come to shiur Torah. Over there, Rabbi Hanina, shiur Torah, 500 people show up. 500 people show up, shoot, in the middle of the street. They're going to kill you. It's their problem. What do you mean? It's just going to kill you. Shiur Torah, shiur Torah, shiur Torah, shiur Torah, shiur Torah, shiur Torah. Over there, they have YouTube, so you have to keep doing shiur Torah. You can't just repost the same thing, call it a different name. So, shiur Torah, shiur Torah, shiur Torah is Rabbi Yossi ben Kizma. Hears about this. He says, is it true? Is it true what I hear? What do you hear, Kvod Harav? Is it true that you're teaching Torah in public? He goes, yeah, it's true. Haven't you heard, my son, that the evil Romans are killing everyone that teaches Torah, and Hashem has signed off on it because He has allowed them to kill Am Yisrael? Meaning, it's not just that the Romans are willing to kill for anyone that teaches Torah, it's that Hashem is allowing them to do it. We have the 10 martyrs. He killed all of them. They took each one of them with a mitah meshunah. They killed them in unusual deaths. They took Rabbi Akiva, they peeled his skin, they sold his meat in the middle of the market as meat, like it's steak. Shem Hashem, what they did to the Chachamim. Says, and you're teaching in public? What does Rabbi Hanina say? Rabbi Hanina says, Hashem Yazor. Rabbi Yossi says, what? Hashem Yazor? I'm teaching you divrei chokhmah, and that's the kind of response you give me? I would be surprised if they don't burn you with the Sefer Torah together. So no, would you guys actually think for a moment that Rabbi Yossi was cursing or wishing bad on Rabbi Hanina? Chas v'shalom. So what was he doing? What was he doing? Rabbi Yossi saw prophecy. He saw much, this is what's going to happen. Ruach HaKodesh. So what does Rabbi Hanina ask at this point? Why'd you curse me? Why'd you say this to me, Kvod Harav? Shouldn't I get a mitzvah? Isn't a big mitzvah? Zikuy Rabin, Kiruv, I'm teaching Torah, even though I'm putting my life on the line? It's a mitzvah, no? What does Rabbi Hanina say? Rabbi Hanina says, Kvod Harav, please tell me, do I have a share in the world to come? Instead of saying, Kvod Harav, why are you saying such things? Hashem will help us. He said, all he has one worry. Do I have Olam Haba or no? Meaning, he doesn't know. We are for sure going to Olam Haba. He doesn't know. He's teaching Torah in the middle of the street, death penalty every 2 seconds. And we are all confident, Olam Haba is waiting for me only. Olam Haba, we're positive Olam Haba is waiting for us. Him, he doesn't know. He opened 500 kolas, 500 yeshivot. In every city there's a yeshiva, Rabbi Hanina ben Tardion. He's teaching in the middle of the street. He doesn't know if he has Olam Haba. We are positive we have Olam Haba because we donated $100 last week. So Rabbi Yossi says to him, tell me some of your deeds and then I'll tell you. Why, it's not enough that he's teaching Torah 500 people every 5 minutes. It's not enough that he opened 500 yeshivot. It's not enough that he's a Tana Kadosh, he can revive the dead. It's not enough. No. He says, well, one time, I collected some money for Purim, for Matanot La'evyonim, they collect for the poor. I collected some money for poor people, and the money that I collected for the poor people got mixed up with my money. And I didn't know which was my money, or what's the Matanot La'evyonim to the poor people. So I just gave it all away. I gave it all to the poor people. Rabbi Yossi says, may my share be like your share. Chazaku Baruch, alvai alai, that I'll be like you. His rabbi says, alvai, I'll be like you. Wait a minute. Rabbi again, alav shalom, asks a serious question. Wait a minute. It's not, if you are going to say that Romans are going to kill him because he's teaching Torah. That's logic. You don't have to be a Talmid Chacham. If he has a doubt whether he's going to go to Olam Haba or not, that's because he's anav. He's humble. But now he's telling you that he's honest with money, and he's saying, "Oh, may my share be like your share." Wasn't it be good enough if it was my share was like your share, with all the yeshivot that he opened, with all the shiurim that he gave, with all the CDs that he printed, with all the emails that he sent out, all that? No, it's not good. This is where we learn Rabotai. He says, all the shiurim that you gave and all the yeshivot that you opened, all the sifrei Torah that you wrote, maybe you did it for the right reason, maybe not. Why? You always get a little kavod. Everybody says kavod harav. Everybody says, how are you? They give you special attention. Maybe you got extra kavod. You got an extra respect because you teach Torah. They treat you with respect. Everybody sees the mitzvah that you're doing when you open a kollel, Rabbi Chanina. Everybody knows it's your kollel. So you got a lot of honor for this mitzvah. You donate a lot of money. Everybody knows, oh, it's so-and-so's building. Everybody knows you. So maybe you did it not because you care about the yeshiva. You did it because you care about people liking you. You care about people saying that you're the greatest. You care about people saying you give good shiurim. You care about people saying, oh, wow, what a chidush. You care about the kavod. Why? Because everyone sees your mitzvah. So the mitzvah could have a little bit of bias in it. A little bit of poison in it. A little poison in it. Why kavod? Kavod is poison. But when you were honest with your money, that's a mitzvah no one saw. That's a mitzvah no one saw, because no one knew that you mixed your money with the poor. No one knew you mixed your money, and you decided to give all that money to the poor, which means that mitzvah no one saw, and you still did the right thing. So if you did the right thing when no one saw, that means that everything you did do, that everyone saw, was also the right thing. If you're honest with your money, you'll be honest with everything else. If you're honest with your money, you'll be honest with everything else. If you're not honest with your money, you're not honest anywhere else. Everyone looks like a tzaddik in the Beit Knesset. I always say it. Everyone looks like Moshe, Aaron, David, Shlomo. You have Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. You have everybody in the Beit Knesset. As soon as they leave the Beit Knesset, you have Esav, Paro, Nimrod. All of them turn into that. They mutate. What happened? In Beit Knesset, everybody looks like tzaddik. How are you outside of the Beit Knesset? That's why in the Gemara, Masechet Shabbat, page 32. They say, the Gemara asks, what questions do they ask you when you get to Shamayim? What questions they ask you? First question, did you conduct your business with emunah? What's emunah? You think about Hashem. Before you took the money from the client, do you think, what does Hashem think? Before you took the contract, what does Hashem think? If you're honest with your business, you'll be honest everywhere else. If you're not honest with your business, everything else you have is a lie. Your marriage is a lie. Your child is the way you're raising your kids is a lie. The schools you're sending your kids is a lie. Everything's a lie. If you're not honest with your business, you're lying everywhere else. Everywhere else. You may not be 100% lie everywhere else, but everything else has a bias. Everything else has a little poison in it. Why? Because that's the test. Because the money is the part that no one sees. If you're not honest when no one else sees, then how are you going to be honest when everyone else is looking? You understand? And that's really what it comes down to. Next question. Did I answer your question? You asked the question about Mashiach? Yes. We said that we have another shiur on Tuesday at the Breslov Center. B'ezrat Hashem, it's going to be about right the day before Purim. We have a fast on Wednesday, B'ezrat Hashem. Check your local times wherever you are. Make sure that you start the right time, you finish the right time. That's Wednesday. Wednesday is the fast. We'll talk about it on Tuesday also. Wednesday there's no shiur. Wednesday there's no shiur because that day is a fast. Plus you have to read Megillat Esther. Basics of Purim. You have to give matanot le'evyonim. You have to give meals to the poor. You have to give mishloach manot. If you haven't given machatzit shekel, you have to give machatzit shekel also. you have to have a Seudah on a Purim afternoon, not Wednesday night, but a Thursday afternoon. You have to have some type of Seudah with meat. That's the sign of a holiday. On Tuesday night, you can wear a costume to the shiur if you'd like. Maybe we'll actually, you know what? Maybe I'll bring some food to whoever wants to sponsor, or I'll sponsor somebody will sponsor. Will bring some food to Tuesday night shiur to get you guys to come. I have to bribe you guys to come to shiurim now. What else? Oh, no shiur on Wednesday. We have to celebrate Purim. Make sure that you do everything you can. That if you have a business, if you could take off. It's Purim. If you have kids especially. If you can't, then you're allowed to work, but technically you shouldn't. And that's it. The rest of it we'll talk about on Tuesday. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen ve'amen.